There we go. Madalena and Ingrid, please come up to the stage. We're delighted to have you up as our next demo/case study presentation.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Madalena. I'm here on the behalf of the Digital Transformation Agency of the state of Rio de Janeiro. And I really like to thank the Turing Way and BridgeAI for the opportunity to be here, and also Malvika, Ariel, and Lele for all the support. We are in Brazil, and our state includes not only the city of Rio de Janeiro, but also other 91 municipalities. And we have a population that more than 16 million people. And our role in government is to enable data and technology across government. So we support state agencies by providing tools and expertise to facilitate effective data and technology use. And we do this like providing tools for data visualization. Here we have one example of a dashboard for our own agency, but every agency can develop their own dashboards. We also manage the open data portal and the network of open data. This is where citizens can access public data. And we are working in an AI-powered service assistant based in LLM technology model. And beyond tools, we work in legal and governance aspects. So we can have this framework for data and AI use in our state. And this includes establish the data governance committee, also providing tools in defining a legal framework to enable data sharing for better and faster services. And we are also aiming to establish guidelines to ensure the ethical and responsible use of data and AI. And here at the Practitioners Hub, we develop a case study in partnership with Japeto AI. And our partnership aims to establish guidelines to answer the key question, how can chatbot accuracy be evaluated? And with the support of Japeto, we set some steps. And the first one was to test the application with the prototype with real users. So we conduct a live testing to simulate real interaction with real people. After that, we review and assess the responses. There was a human evaluation based on quality, accuracy, and relevance. And then finally, we should calculate the health score using the collect data to measure the chatbot performance. So we conducted this real-world trial of our chatbot prototype with population. We did it at Central do Brasil, which is the main station of the state of Rio de Janeiro, and it has like a diverse scenario, different diverse people, and that really represents our population. I would like to share a short video of this, and it's not made especially for this presentation, so you'll see me here also, but I think it's interesting.
A Secretaria de Estado de Transformação Digital, com o apoio do Prodeste e do Sebrae, promove essa semana o RJ Digital em Ação. Esse aqui no Central do Brasil. O objetivo é ouvir com a transformação digital, aprimorar o atendimento e otimizar os serviços ao cidadão fluminense. O Estado do Rio de Janeiro, por meio da Secretaria de Transformação Digital, está desenvolvendo uma ferramenta baseada em inteligência artificial para ajudar o cidadão a acessar os serviços estaduais.
A gente quer unir o que há de melhor em tecnologia com a voz do cidadão para entregar produtos de governo digital que realmente transformem a vida das pessoas.
O Sebrae é parceiro da Secretaria de Transformação Digital, tal como esta iniciativa aqui na Central do Brasil para a melhoria dos serviços ao cidadão e ao empreendedor. Isso tudo com desdobramento na melhoria do ambiente de negócios.
Falando um pouco sobre inteligência artificial, eu acredito que vai ajudar muita gente. A gente tem dificuldade de ter, então assim, muito bem.
E ela também para nos ajudar, porque eu, como desenhista, porque aí ela iria me atrapalhar, tanto com a criação, mas quem faz a pergunta é a gente. Eu fiz uma pergunta bem interessante, que é o meu, que será o meu primeiro cinema. Então, eu sou habilitado e eu fui direto para o site. Isso foi muito ativo para você gostar.
Very meaningful experience for us because we are not that often out there listening to population. So it was very interesting to see and to realize that there is a real communication gap between people and government, and maybe AI may help with that. Our experience in the Practitioners Hub was really awesome to be part of it, and attending the talks provided us with knowledge that was immediately applied to our activities. For example, we adopt the ethical data framework from ODI that we get to know in one of the lectures. Learning about the projects and idea of other experts in resident was a highly enriching experience. And particularly the case study was the highlight of our experience, bringing valuable insights and support from Japeto AI in the project chatbot project. Finally, our next steps, we intend to refine and deploy the chatbot based on the health score. And we will also like to document a set of best practices for data and AI-based projects that can serve as a reference for our future initiatives and hopefully for other public sectors organizations in Brazil. Obrigada. Thank you.
Okay, I'm back. Okay, so back to chatbot performance. So it's a challenge. I think I feel like I've had a lot of conversations with people basically about this. So Madalena's team essentially created a really amazing chatbot tool. What? Oh. Sorry, bear with. Okay, I should just click on the mouse. Okay, I'll click on the mouse. Okay. All right. So in summary, I'll start speeding up now. So the amazing chatbot, generative AI chatbot, they had tested with real users. They had manually reviewed the message. And then our side of the project was to basically go in and see if we could collect signals from those chatbot conversations and see if there was any sort of correlation between the manual review and our signals. So essentially what we're looking to do is to automate to some degree the really hard work that the Rio team was doing with seeing, was their chatbot giving the best resources? Was it giving the most relevant information? And here's just some screen grabs from the fantastic video to say that at the end, we had 599 real messages that were all reviewed by users. We started off by creating an API so that the Rio team could actually send the data to us. So this is pictures of our Japeto chat platform. We have an analytics section, and you can see we were testing from this February 17th to the 21st. We get the data coming in. We get health score, and all the conversations are showing up there. Okay, but the interesting stuff is what signals were we actually looking at here? So this is it's a chatbot that is referring people to services. So one of the most obvious things we can look at is, did it give a URL? Was it actually giving information? And if it gave a URL, did it actually resolve? Because sometimes generative AI makes up links and gets creative. So we can do these obvious checks. We can also get a bit more creative. So we had to think about like, what happens with real conversations when people are having a bad experience? They'll start to get like, I'll start to get frustrated if I have to keep explaining myself, or they'll maybe rephrasing the question again and again. So there's subtle things that we can actually pick up automatically that people are giving us. And one of the most obvious places to go to as well was something called a cosine similarity score. So they have a generative AI chatbot, which is using a database of information. And when that AI chatbot is returning a result, we can also see how close that match was with the user's question with the database. So the closer the match, the higher the cosine similarity, essentially. So here's the bad news with the case study is we got all the data. We started this in February, massive amount of work. Not too much, but you know. But this is still with our statisticians, so I don't actually have the full results, unfortunately. But we will be sharing them as a part of the case study, and the goal is to create a health score algorithm that is going to be added into our chatbot. But we also, in the spirit of Alan Turing and everything like that, we want to make that open source as well. But a very, very rudimentary look, and I'm not a statistician, but I do know how to use a pivot table. So I was taking a look at essentially the average cosine similarity score for when because the users can say if they like or dislike a conversation, which is useful information. And then Madalena's team rated whether or not the chatbot had given the best resource, an okay resource, or a bad resource. And the nice thing is we do actually start seeing trends coming out of here. So I think the takeaway that I'm having is there is relevant data that we can use for a quality control process. So if it was the best, if Madalena's team said it's the best resource, the user liked it, we have the highest average cosine. So that's a good sign. And then if it's a bad resource and they disliked it, it's also really low. So it's also a good indicator. But what was kind of interesting is those in-between places, which I think is where there's an opportunity to really explore this a lot more. Is sometimes Madalena's team said, this is a good resource. And the chatbot user said, no, I don't like what you told me. We still get a relatively low cosine score. So this might be opportunities for basically more resources to be implemented. So we're basically getting a bit of a red flag from the user and the cosine saying, hey, we need additional resources here. So, okay, and then just to wrap up quickly, this is going to be implemented for us for a new quality control process. So basically, we're going to be establishing a benchmark on a per chatbot level, because it needs to be specific, is what is an acceptable average health score, and not to release a chatbot until we have exceeded that. And then we also have an opportunity to keep monitoring as we go around. All right, thanks.